Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I wanted to make a video about playing better in the middle game. I hope that's going to be quite valuable for my viewers, because I think that that's part of YouTube chess that doesn't often get covered as much as puzzles, as much as tactical positions for specific openings, etc. Most middle games are quite unique, as you probably know. After move 15 or 20, all of our games usually are a unique game that's never been played before. But from this game, I think you can definitely learn some valuable concepts that you can apply to any middle game situation. So in short, we're looking at the game that I played a few days ago, and I played it so badly from this position in the next couple of moves that despite the fact that the computer currently thinks it's equal, I even have a small advantage. You can see that bar to the right next to the board, there is a little bar, and you can see the black bit is above the orange bar in the middle, so I'm 0.5 up according to the computer. But as you can start looking into the position, my king is super exposed, so I need to play carefully, well, and capitalize on the fact that I have a whole bishop for a pawn, and try to build from there. Now it's my opponent's turn, and he played the move that any human would play. The computer is suggesting to play the move knight to b5, but my opponent gave me a check with his queen on h6, obviously trying to capitalize on the fact that my king is super duper exposed. Computer doesn't like that move and now gives me a whole -2. If you see the bar, it shot up, which means that now I have a significant advantage. -2 means black is significantly better than white, but in this case black also needs to play well because their king is super duper exposed. So here I played the only move, no chance to blunder because there was only one legal move in the position, king to f7, and from here my opponent keeps checking me. So here I need to have a plan, because if I don't, my king soon might even get checkmated if white manages to get all their pieces out. Pieces like this bishop, obviously. The rook is already free, there is no pawn in front of it, and there is of course a pawn here that's near queening. So I have a lot to deal with, even though I have a bishop advantage. So my plan, if we're talking about plans, is somehow to develop all of these pieces that currently haven't done anything in the game and get my king here. So to manually castle all the way and waste a lot of moves without losing material. Since I have a bishop ahead, even if I waste a few development moves, I thought then I have a safe king, and from there I can play a middle game that I'm actually winning because I have more pieces. So my plan was get my king to safety. And I'm still leading, I'm still playing good moves so far, but it's not very difficult since I'm in check and I need to do something quickly. So my opponent starts developing. If you notice that knight just moved, it had been under attack the whole time and I wanted to take it, but of course I was being checked until now. So my opponent reroutes the knight via e2. That knight can soon jump and start causing havoc in my position. So now I play the move that's okay, which is knight to f6. I want to kind of give my king some extra protection, waste a move on my opponent's side by making them move their queen since I'm attacking them, and freeing up space for my king to keep traveling to the right side of the board. I thought that's a great move. Now we have queen to h4, which is not super accurate according to the engine, but my opponent says you can't move your knight. Somehow he wants to probably exploit the fact that currently my knight does not want to move. So what did I play next? I thought for a bit and I played e5 because I wanted to kind of stop their pawn on e4 from taking e5 at a later stage. And I thought this frees up my bishop. So my bishop now has more scope, so it's a quite good move to allow further to move all these pieces so that my king can go into safety. We have castle, good move by my opponent. And now bishop to the newly freed square that I just moved from, e6. So far so good, still having an advantage. My opponent is trying to attack because they know that if I get my king to safety, then I'll just be better, and from there it will be very difficult for them to exploit my weaknesses. Okay, another move by the king going in the right direction, and my bishop gets threatened after the pawn has moved to f5. Here apparently the best move is to take. Bishop takes a2, but I thought my bishop will get trapped there, so I didn't analyze much that position, and also I was worried about other things. Kind of wanted to have another defensive piece still in the game, so I played a move that's also okay, bishop to f7. All right, my opponent is, developing and trying to kind of break these pawns in the center. So now what I should be doing is I should protect my pawn. Like, what I want is a closed center, because closed center is more difficult for the king to be attacked. But instead I took, which is probably what my opponent wanted. As you can see, the computer doesn't like it and some of my advantage is starting to vanish. And now I play the most logical move in my opinion, which is queen to e7 to further allow my rook to get out so that I can tuck in the king, and it's like I've castled. But as you can see, my advantage has now vanished completely, because whilst I'm doing all these moves, it allows my opponent to attack, and my opponent is starting to play really good moves. So as you can see, I'm being very stubborn with a plan that is not a good plan, because I didn't judge that my opponent isn't doing anything. He's doing moves that are specifically targeting this plan. So what I should be doing is something else. But instead, I complete my plan, and now actually my opponent is, you know, a little bit ahead even in the game. So I've wasted all my advantage, which suggested that I had better moves so far. But at least, in my opinion, I'll soon be able to castle. And the whole point is, by now my opponent has advanced all these pawns, and he's also attacking my knight. So I kind of am out of time. I can't really play a move like king to c8, or I also lose my advantage. So what I did is a really bad move. My knight's under attack, and I put it right back at e8. So now I'm very undeveloped actually. All of the last 5-6 moves have not improved my development, but have substantially improved my opponent's development. And now he does a devastating move, which is bishop to h3. So if they were to move again, they would move their pawn, and that will open. I'll just remove these arrows for a sec. Okay, maybe I can't remove them, but basically what would happen now is if the pawn moved from f5 to f6, that will open a check on me whilst attacking my queen. So the game will basically be over. So I didn't want that to happen. And the correct move is, as we saw earlier, the knight was even doing a better job at f6, but I didn't want to give a knight away. Sometimes you just have to accept. Notice that here the engine thinks the game is equal. And why is the game equal? Because if I develop or let my opponent take back the material I was already leading, because don't forget I have a bishop, then I give it back, but I sort out my position. So it's a very important concept that you can give material away, especially when you're ahead and your position matters more. But no, I want to cling on to my material advantage. And by doing that, invited some nasty attack. So I was too scared to go king to... I was too scared to give a knight away again. And what I thought is I can't go back to c8, because I'm not going to deal like that with the threat of exposing my king and losing my queen. So I'm actually going to go forward, because it's not actually looking that dangerous on the queen side. So even if my king is ahead and needs to later somehow move pawns and tuck in somehow to the back rank, at the moment there is nothing happening on the queen side, so my king will be safe. Whilst that's the case, my opponent played another correct move, attacking my queen, so I need to deal with that threat that's just been done for me. Sorry, he attacked my queen directly, and my queen is a little bit trapped, because as you can see, it can't move anywhere. It has very few squares for a typical queen to move. They're covered by the bishop, so I kind of need to sacrifice the knight. So what I didn't want to do earlier is sack the knight, give the knight away for nothing, and now I have to do it. But now it's my opponent who has a good position due to me not playing very well. So I could have had a much better position, and my king could have been a lot safer if I wasn't so stubborn. And now I thought, why not give a check, which was dealt with king to b1. Actually, that check doesn't do much. It actually makes their king safer. And now I'm like, let me keep attacking. And I thought that's a good diagonal for the bishop. But what I didn't realize is actually how dead I am. I kind of started forgetting about this this bishop attacking this diagonal. So my king really, whilst there is nothing attacking it, cannot go back. So it will take many moves like opening a pawn, etc. So my opponent played a good move, queen to d3. And currently the engine, if you've noticed, the bar is completely white, and I'm in a very losing position. What I should do is put a6 up so that there is some kind of hope, at least for me. For example, if here I played a6 and my opponent put their queen on d5. This is kind of a logical move, giving a check, but actually that will give me enough time to escape because there isn't any good checks now, and I'll be able to tuck in. But I panicked here and I thought I need to get ASAP out of the situation, so I actually played a not very good move, bishop b6, which was met by my opponent's checkmate. So I managed to completely misplay a position where I was winning, if we go back here, and it was mainly because I had a plan and my opponent knew my plan and reacted to it, but I was not reacting at all to their plan. So from this very nice position where it's a bit scary, but I should be able to survive, just a few moves later, out of which the first few moves were even good, and we have one mistake, two mistakes in a row, three inaccuracy, this one, blunder, mistake. So 5 moves in a row that were really bad. And when you have a small lead and you make 5 bad moves and then you completely blunder, you lose the game. So hopefully that will give you some food for thought. My main message for this video is watch what your opponent is doing and definitely do not get lost in your own plan. Hope that makes sense. Let me know what you thought and see you soon. Bye.